And I do believe we are live. Good evening, one and all. Welcome to the Not Dave Grohl Show, post crazy weekend edition. It really wasn't that crazy. It was like a 6 out of 10 at worst. And it was actually pretty fun. But as promised, I am back on this Sunday evening post workout pending run. And I am here to hang out. And tonight, we are spending a little bit of time testing out whether or not hashtags actually attract new audiences. So we will see whether or not people searching hashtags actually join and come check out what we're doing. I don't know. Might take a couple tries, but we're going to try it anyways. But for those of you who are following me on Instagram or people who are lucky enough, I use that term loosely, to be friends with me on Facebook, yeah, probably got a nice good look at what I look like when I am in full-on Wall Street banker mode. And the reception was almost embarrassingly positive. Somebody going so far as to quote ZZ Top. Actually, someone's quoted ZZ Top, but either way, I'm kind of like, really? You prefer that to me like all metaled out? Or whatever, however I dress. I don't know. I just kind of dress like me. But either way, the encouragement was quite flattering. And I definitely appreciate it. But today, after taking a very long recuperative nap, I got up and I did a little writing. And I put it up on Facebook, and the inspiration came behind something that I saw somebody else post about. I'm in the blah, blah, blah phase of my life. And so I wrote this long diatribe, which I do from time to time, because I'm me, and I like to write every once in a while, and I like to say things. And I guess I gave off the idea that I am quite bummed out about life right now, when that is not the case, because within 5 minutes of posting that, I got a DM from a friend of mine asking me if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? What's that? They were like, oh, I don't know. You sounded like you were getting ready to jump the country or something by the post that you put up. I wanted to be sure you were okay. I'm like, well, jumping the country sounds like a lot of fun right about now. I mean, if I were doing that, then I would probably be one of the happiest people on the face of the planet. But no, that's not what's going on, and that's not what that post meant. But I kind of want to share it with you guys, because why not? It's not live on my Facebook page, so if I put it there, then I shouldn't be embarrassed by it at all. And I'm not. I actually am quite proud of it, because it was just kind of a stream of consciousness rant, and I just kind of went with it. And I was pretty happy with what the self-discovery that I went through in these few short paragraphs. So it goes as following. I'm in the growing exponentially, leaving behind what doesn't serve me, even if it hurts me, even if I wish it were different phase of my life. A lot of you don't know, but you've had your last hug from me. Listen to me tell another stupid story for amusement. Listen to me tell you you're worth more than you settle for. encouraged you to develop past your artificial comfort zones and limitations, which everybody knows that I'm very, very big on pushing those sorts of boundaries. The river is pushing me in a new direction, and my days within these borders are numbered. I'm past intention and on to action because the current dictates, and by the current, I mean the current of the river. Let that which is not for you move past you, even if it hurts you, and even if you wish it were different. Let those thoughts go too, because they don't serve you. No buts. Nostalgia is meant to teach, not a place in which you stay. It is not a town. Nothing stays the same. And since I know this, though I wish the river were wrong, and it's not, and traveling this path has shown me the past was not as sweet as I thought, nor anywhere near as terrifying as I feared. It's a graveyard I've lived in for far too long, hoping for angels and ready to battle demons, neither of which came. It was just me and my thoughts. All I saw were versions of me and the possibilities, all of which were beyond its walls. As of those words of encouragement, I always thought they were meant for the people I told them to. And while I hope they were internalized and taken to heart because they are true, they were never meant for you. I was really speaking to myself the entire time, and I just never knew it. It was me that needed to move forward, me resisting the current, me wanting to settle, me saying, if I'm satisfied here, maybe this is good enough. And so I stayed, and so I was wrong, and so now it's time to move along. And the river gave its departing advice. Instead of staying, see who catches up. See who is inspired by what you're doing and see what they do with the inspiration. See who develops their strengths so that they can stand by your side. Maybe, just maybe, you might be surprised who shows up. But until then, you've done all you can do here. Given all you can, sacrifice the parts of yourself that might be useful for someone else so they might be able to sit in that graveyard just like you and see what you've seen. Perhaps learn what you've learned. The past is nowhere near as sweet nor as terrifying. The future, though, that may very well be exciting. And end rant. And other than the clunky transition into the last paragraph, from a flow standpoint, I actually think it's pretty good. And actually, I kind of thought of an interesting short story idea to go with that. Maybe I'll write that someday. I don't know. I haven't done any serious writing in a couple of years. At least not with the intent of storytelling. I do write on a regular basis. If it's not lyrics or if it's not something else, then I am usually at least once or twice a week putting words to paper, so to speak. But I want to be clear that the boundaries that I'm referring to are very much interpersonal. As much as I would like to jump the country and go live someplace else, that's not what I'm referring to. I'm not referring to physically relocating anywhere, at least not for right now. But it does kind of go back to the conversation I had on camera, I guess maybe about a month and a half ago. It was right at the end of February, right when I got back from Atlanta, about seeking stimulation from outside of the area in which I currently have been looking for, we'll just call it stimulation, but inspiration more than anything else, because, but, I mean that on many different levels. I mean that musically, I mean that creatively. Meeting new people, whatever it takes. It could come from anywhere, because you would be surprised where inspiration can strike if you're willing to go into unexpected places and you're just willing to let things flow and not resist. Which, I mean, there's an argument for resistance. Sometimes that is necessary, but I'm not at a point in my life where resistance is really something that's needed right now what's needed very much is fluidity and the bravery to swim with the current of the river, so to speak. So, to anybody concerned, it's not what you thought it was. And yes, I am for the most part in good headspace. I have my good days and my bad days just like anybody else, but it is not something that anybody needs to be concerned about. It is just me waxing philosophical, as some do on Facebook. But for tonight, what I am going to explore is I need a new clean guitar tone. Because I cycled out some of the stuff that I was working for the Cure cover that I've been working on, and somebody suggested that maybe the clean guitar tone wasn't the greatest option. And after going back and listening to it several times, I am kind of agreeing with them. And not only that, today when I flipped on HX Edit for my Helix, it needed an update. So I figured now might be a good opportunity to do so. So we're going to take a look at that. And we're going to see if we can come up with a better clean guitar tone. Something maybe a little bit more chimey and a little maybe slightly overdriven. I don't know yet, but that is what we're going to work on. And then maybe we'll do some tracking with it if time prevails, because I am limited this evening. Not only am I tired, I still need to go for a run before I can go to bed this evening. So let's go ahead and flip this up. And let's go ahead and get started. So let's get out of the factory settings. User 2 is the portal that I've been using. And I guess we'll go ahead and start here. And just so everybody is aware, I am building this for the Telecaster. So I guess first things first. Let's go ahead and click in on one of the guitar tracks here. And I'm going to turn the master effects on that bus off for now so that we don't get signal delay. There, that sounds pretty good. Not only that, I don't want the saturators and stuff coloring the sound. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put a compressor on there. Let's put an amp in there, and I have actually let's start with an whoops, not what I meant to do. Let's start with an AC30 because I really like the AC30. What is going on here? Aha, there we go. And we're going to use a bright setting because I do want something fairly chimey. And do ignore the feedback. We will get this out of here in a minute. Ugh. And we are also, we're going to move that down to this because I'm going to cut most of that drive out. We'll start with the screamer, even though that's probably not the best idea in this case. We're going to kind of do this. We need an IR. And we'll just use a Celestian 30 for this. And just give this. Cut to about 12K. Low cut, we're going to say right at, I think I normally set this to about 80. And we'll turn this up to about -5 for right now. And that should give us... That's already got some pretty good bounce to it. But just want a simple delay on this just for kicks. We're gonna do a stereo delay. And a I don't know, let's start with an ambient. We may not end up using that, but and in between there, let's add a chorus. And this is kind of what it sounds like with the basics. Well, I tried to play it anyways, but all right. So the first thing I'm hearing, it's a bit not present. So for right now, and for those of you that don't know, presence is kind of your really, really high. All right. So cut some of this bass down and boost the treble a little bit and bring down the mid-range, maybe about right there. That's a little bit better. A little bit closer to what I'm looking for. Now let's get into here, because I want to get an overdriven tone. We're going to start with the Tube Screamer, but I don't know ultimately if that's what I'm going to end up using, because it might be too much. Let's give it about 2 and see. At some point in time, I will play this correctly tonight. I promise. Guess really the big thing here. Let's turn this down to 4-1. I want a pretty quick attack, so we'll say 10 milliseconds. Release, I usually do somewhere around 150, and that's usually pretty fine. But we will do some test tracking with this to see how it looks. And see where it goes. Now, one thing I have noticed, and that's actually sounding pretty good. I think before we do anything, we'll just call this patch the cure, because that's what we're going to be using it on. And this is probably not compressing all that much just yet. We do need to add some volume back in here. I'm going to give it some tone, maybe to about 8. That's sounding pretty good. 5 milliseconds pre-delay. I'm generally okay with that. 5 kilohertz. Still, I'm not really worried about that. Let's see what late sounds like. That's generally pretty good. Leave the wage shape alone. And that's way too much chorus. Maybe about right here. It's probably still a bit much. Let's try it maybe about right there. And the other thing we really need to do, definitely don't want trails, and I don't want that much delay in the signal, so let's try 25%. Bring this up to about 30. All right. It's probably still a little too much chorus. So we're going to say about 2.8. And I'd say we're getting pretty close to the signal, so go ahead and save that again. Happy with the reverb. Now, the big thing that I'm going to need to do is start checking where it is coming in. Right now, I am on track 18, the left rhythm, and it's way too quiet. So what I need to do, let's bring it up to still really low. So maybe to about let me turn off the effects there. And about 13.7. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Negative 13.7 is still perfectly recordable, and when compressed, it should sound just fine. So now comes the fun part. Gonna insert a new track for now. Oh, here's the other thing I need to do. Always remember to turn the noise gate on. That's what's causing all that background nonsense. So I'm going to play along to the track and see how well it blends. And maybe we've got a winner. Maybe we still got some adjustments to do. I don't know. Let's find out. What I have not tested on my guitar yet is a bright setting with this. So we'll go through it one more time. Okay. Yeah, I can see that working. So we'll switch back to this for a minute. It's a tiny bit more Sonic Youth than I wanted, but I think it might work just fine. So, how do we approach this evening? I say, let's go ahead and track a couple of channels and then compare them if I can learn how to spell rhythm anyways, and see how it goes. Actually, make sure I'm in tune first. And it would help if I selected the right input. All right, let's give it another shot, this time with something actually plugged in. got one in there. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing, and then we'll pan these out and give them a good test. We're going to use the middle setting because why not? Now, go ahead and we're just going to pull the same settings on both the left and the right channel for right now, because I just want an approximation. I'm worried about whether or not it's workable, not whether or not it is perfect. All right. Listen to that one more time. go ahead and A/B that. To the original sound I was using. And back to the new tone. I'm thinking the new tone sounds closer to what was on the record. But I think it may be lacking a little bit of bass, so I'm going to have to EQ these a little bit differently. Oh, I ran the EQs flat on the rhythm channels. I didn't even get to that point. I was just being super basic about it. So, we're going to do this one more time. And one more time on the. Yeah, I think the new tone is a lot closer to what I am looking for than the old tone, even though I like the bass of the old tone a little bit better. Like the low, the like mid-low to low range sounds a lot better to me. But overall, the new rhythms that I tracked are really close to the actual record. So that is probably what I'm going to end up going with, I think. And let's see, we're already up to 9 o'clock. And I wasn't planning on this being a super long episode tonight. This was more about dialing in a new tone than it was about working with a than getting any tracking done, which I think I'm going to end up doing the rhythm guitars tomorrow, possibly the lead. And then there is still the synthesizers that need to be done and a piano part that I need to figure out. But I don't think it'll take me very long because it's not the most complicated thing in the world. It just sounds really pretty. And sometimes it's really all the music really needs is that. So I think I will be back tomorrow night, right around 8 p.m. We'll get some tracking done on this, get it maybe to the point where recording is done, or and we're ready to start mixing the track, which of course I'm going to do off camera because there's no way I can do this without the studio monitors. Even though I think I've found a volume level where I can do that, where it does not feed back with the condenser. But maybe we'll try that, and maybe we'll mix it on camera. And then after we get that done, the next couple of episodes after that, we're going to do the scratch tracking for the rest of Shadowland, which is what I'm calling that new track, the new original that I'm working on for right now, until I find um a better title for it. So don't consider that final. But for now, I think that's it. For those of you that joined in tonight, even for a couple of seconds, thank you. If you enjoyed it, thank you. If you didn't enjoy it, follow me, subscribe to me. Come back next time. Maybe you'll like better what I'm working on. Not every episode is for everybody. But either way, as per all my videos, thank you for joining. Click the likes, the follows, the subscribes, twist knobs, pull levers. Whatever you have to do, help me get this out to a larger audience as I continue to work on this stuff. And, and happy 40th episode. Can't believe I've done 40 of these already. They've definitely gotten a lot smoother. That I'm happy with. But I don't know. It's a very, very fun way to work on music and talk to people at the same time. So expect another 40 at least. Maybe even more than that. Dunno. But for now,